you see her, call like a mouse, snatch you into her Montecito dungeon. Meghanmarkle, the crazy heart goes, and they're invisible kids. Harry is crazy for his mommy, but has Meghan to cosplay. Meghanmarkle, the crazy heart goes.
Hello, hello, everybody. Welcome to Tabloid Talk. This is where I use the Enquirer, yes, the Enquirer, and we go back into the past and we see if they were right about it or if we missed something or what's going on. I use clips, stuff like that to either verify or debunk what they have said. And it's really cool to go back, and I've found actually that they've been right pretty much almost 100%. They can't always be 100%. I also want everyone to know that I don't believe every single thing they say, but there is a lot of credibility to them. Otherwise, I wouldn't have got a subscription to it. At the end of these, I always put probably 2 commercials. I call them commercials, but they're just like parodies, funnies I find online, and I share with you. This time we have a brand new Sam. I'm so excited. I haven't watched it. Love that, so I can laugh with you guys. So anyway, we're going to go, and we are going to go back to August 13th, 2022. So today's story is The Queen Hates Rochelle. What Her Majesty said behind closed doors. How Harry's wife got under her skin. Why miffed monarch will never forgive her, and secret palace ban and royal snubs exposed. So I am going to show you all what it's going to be, and then I'm going to read it to you. So this is the whole thing out. I will be splitting it up to read it, and it'll be clear. The Queen can no longer contain Rochelle rage. That's what Rochelle rage. That's a good one. I put that on the thumbnail, actually. So basically, guys, we have done, like, all we have seen is as ever, as if, at whatever, as if. Stuff, that's all we see lately. So I wanted to go and do something a little bit different and go back and talk about our beloved Queen, see some footage, stuff like that. And just get away from her toxicity for half a minute. And then, of course, we'll get back to it. But this also is it. But the good people come on top, at least in my opinion. As you all know, I love the Enquirer. Besides the Pulitzer Prize thing, I know that this is one magazine that did not buy any of Rochelle's BS, because they've called her out from the very beginning. And I think anyone who's been with me for any length of time can attest to that. So let's get into this. Dying Queen Elizabeth detests Prince Harry's fame-hungry wife, Rochelle, and is finally letting her true feelings be known, sources tell the National Inquirer. After years of tortured silence, 96-year-old Elizabeth is putting the American upstart in her place, with cutting remarks and subtle steps to ensure the monarchy survives Rochelle and Harry's renegade rebellion, royal insiders say. Her Majesty believes Rochelle and her publicity-obsessed antics pose a real threat to the monarchy. Boy, was she right. A senior courtier tells the Enquirer exclusively. As she faces her final days, Elizabeth detests this self-centered newcomer for tearing Harry from his family to start a new life together in America. The truth is, it's the Hollywood life Rochelle always dreamed of for herself, and Harry is her meal ticket. Ding, ding! This was all out there. I always say that, you guys, when I read these, I'm always like, ah! Okay. While Harry and Rochelle have feuded more openly with other family members, the Queen has always managed to remain above the fray, at least in public. I'm told the Queen had suspicions early on, that Meghan couldn't accept the royal rule book, but gave her a chance. Many chances, says the courtier. She hates that the Duchess of Sussex betrayed her. Now Rochel seems set to use her title for an ambitious career in politics, a total no-no for British royalty. The Queen's breaking point is said to have come when Rochel vowed to walk on Washington for A rights. I don't know if I can say that. When a woman, loses her child. With feminist Gloria Steinem. I'm told Her Majesty has run out of patience with the woman who keeps thumbing her nose at the royals, says the source, and she's letting it be known behind palace doors. Although the Queen publicly maintained her royal reserve after being blindsided by the Sussexes fleeing to the U.S. in 2020, insiders claim she now cannot contain her disdain for the devious Duchess. She was outraged after Rochel accused the royals of being cruel, uncaring racist, and dissed Prince William's wife, Catherine, in that bombshell CBS interview, says the palace source. She retaliated with 3 words. Recollections may vary, subtly suggesting Rochel was lying. And she didn't even try to hide her glee when Rochel snubbed Prince Philip's funeral last year. Thank goodness Rochel is not coming, she told her aides. Oh, well, no kidding. Back then, the sources continued, Elizabeth feared another Rochel drama would steal attention from her beloved Philip, and it would have, and we know that. The same kind of potential distraction is also why she banned the Sussexes from the Buckingham Palace balcony during her Platinum Jubilee celebrations in June. She will not allow them to cash in on their royal connections for their megabucks Netflix documentary, declares the courtier, referring to one of Harry and Meghan's blockbuster Hollywood deals. Queen Elizabeth welcomed the former B-list actress before she wed Harry 37 in May 2018, but storm clouds soon arrived. Meghan 40, refused Her Majesty's plea to resolve the bitter public feud that exploded with her father, Thomas Markle. Wow, hey, well, I think they've said this already before, I recall. Reports also emerged that Rochel was bullying staffers, which the American actress vehemently denies. They have you on tape, Rochel. God, you live in a delusional world. Oh, okay. Then Rochel badmouthed the royals while on tour in Africa, and the hits kept coming. After the Sussexes fled to their $14 million California mansion, a shocking new book charges Rochel reworked her own history to appear more dramatic. In Revenge, Rochel, Harry, and the War Between the Windsors author Tom Bauer says Rochel claims she saw violence and looting during the 1992 Los Angeles race riots. But her father insists his biracial daughter was in Palm Springs with him at the time. Of course she was. Bauer adds Rochel falsely claims an ancestor worked at Windsor Castle in the 1860s and that she harbors ambitions to create an empire. Like Ivanka Trump. Yeah, okay. This was in 2022, you guys. Wow. He also accused her of... Just a second now. Sorry. Wasn't Biden in? What the hell? But she's wanting to have an empire like... Okay, all right then. He also accuses her of once brazenly flirting with golf great Rory McIlroy to promote herself. She did more than that, and we all know it. And I've talked about that. Leading her then live-in boyfriend, Canadian chef Corey Vidiello, to ask if she'd had an affair. Corey, darling, you were the affair. I'm sorry, but she was married to herself, my man. He was a good-looking guy, too. Finally, Bauer charges Rochel exploited the late Princess Diana, no kidding, by forcing Harry to publicly state she has faced similar dangers. We all know what that is. The unaliving thing. And the I'm so scared. She's got paparazzi. Yeah, okay. The new revelations are no surprise at the palace, dishes the royal insider. Rochel's been pegged as a ruthless social climber who'll do anything to get to the top. Her Majesty whispers she's a Hollywood nobody without her royal title and connections. I'm told the Queen's dying wish is for Harry to come to his senses and ditch Rochel. It's the only way he can ever go home again. Well, well, well. So that's it. It's very short, this one. I think next time if I have a really short one, I can always add a little piece of another one. But this time I didn't think of that. And I have to get up with my grandbaby. But besides that, we are still going to get into some deliciousness. So what I have is, I've shown this before, but not the full one. I didn't have the full minute and a bit. With the star editor talking about the leaky ship that is Rochel. So I wanted to put that on, and we're going to check that out, and then I will get back to you. Well, I'll be here.
Yeah, I was at Star at the time, and priorly, you know, we'd always written about the Royals. They're a huge seller.
Yeah.
And they were a very tight ship. The House of Windsor was a tight ship. There was no sources. There was no nothing. When Meghan got in there, leaky AF. Like, people were singing like a bird because she sucked. And it's the accounts we were getting, people are like, we are risking our job, our family's legacy. Like, the people who work in service at that level, it is truly like a calling. Like, it is, they're very proud of it. It's not just a job they take lightly. They're going to work in service for a lifetime. They're going to pass that down. And so for them to risk that, to share how awful this woman is.
And how was she awful? Like, give me some examples.
Yelling, ungrateful, rude. She came in there and it was this like, I'm a disruptor. This is not the place you disrupt. And to your point, I absolutely get it, where it's like, yes, so many mother-in-laws like, you're taking our son from us. This to me is why I hate Harry. He should have been less of a wuss. He should have been out in front. If that's the case,
Right.
if his family is that toxic that he needed to break away from them, he should have been like, this is my decision. Like, he should have been on the tip of that spear telling
I feel like he
everyone.
did a little bit in the Oprah interview.
If we flip the genders on this, and if you had a man isolating a woman from a big, stable family, and then turning and being like, you can't work, but it's like, I'm the reason you can't work because I took you from this family, and you are subservient to me, so you're going to do things my way. We would see that so clearly as an abusive dynamic. That would not be like, well, you know, she has to stay home. She has to stay home because he's created that situation, and not by an accident. It seems very advantageous that, yeah, she's the breadwinner. Yeah, she's making all the decisions. That is part and parcel of her personality, which seems to be, as we're seeing, pretty hungry for power and influence. And hey, you can't knock the hustle, but don't then turn around and say you're the victim. Just be like, yeah, I'm fucking power hungry. Rah, like, go for it.
So I know I've played just part of this before, but I just thought it would be good to play it all and remember exactly. And I know that, like, they would make up so much stuff about the royals. It was crazy. But then Rochel got there, and the blinds that were coming out, and that I've read them, they coming out true. So these people aren't, it's not, see, here's the thing, like with the Enquirer, I believe anyway, it's not just, you know, everyone says, oh, it's Rochel's camp and this, the camp, blah, blah. No, I honestly believe this woman, that these courtiers and these service people, and it is a calling to them, could not stand her to the point that they're willing to say something, honestly. And I kind of think that, well, especially after reading about what the Queen, you know, that they literally said the Queen hates her. The Queen, I've never heard her say or have that, you know, to anybody. I totally believe that, you know, that, and the Enquirer totally knew about, and the Queen knew that she was like this, and it was just, oh my goodness, you guys, this is 2022, and looking back, I hate her even more. I just hate her even more. And I never used that word either, but what she did. So what I'm going to do is play a couple clips, and we're going to watch, of our beloved Queen, some rare ones. They're not that long, but I do want to share and just reminisce a little bit. because that would be lovely.
I am so happy that on this, my third visit, my future husband is by my side. I name this ship Coronia. May God bless her and all who sail in her.
Isn't that just beautiful? Her voice, she sounds so young. She really was. Oh my. You know what really angers me, guys, is that this biatch Rochel literally is the shit stain, the only one on this amazing woman's reign. I hate her for that. I do. Like, she was devoted. She was a devoted woman. Nothing better than the queen. Nobody. So, I wanted to show her great love Philip's funeral because in the article it states that the queen was very happy Rochel did not go. And no kidding. No kidding.
They said we never make it, my sweet joy.
I had to turn the music down, but isn't that beautiful? I never saw this clip before. The moment Queen Elizabeth looked back to see whether her husband was following her like he usually did. That's just a dagger in the heart. A dagger. And that prick Harry had his effing microphone on. Ugh. Okay, Lara, get it together. I get upset about the queen. Ugh. So, what I'm going to do is I had made a short a bit back, and I'm going to put it on because it's the queen's coronation. And not the full thing, of course. And then it goes to her death, and it's just so gut-wrenching. And if you've seen it before, you can jump ahead or whatever. That's fine. I just thank you for even being here at all, too. Remember the queen, and that she did stand up at the end. She really did. She took, I've got tons of articles that I will be sharing about, what she did do in the hopes, that the monarchy could survive the Harkles. You know what I mean? So I'm going to put that short on, and then we'll have another little chat. I'll give everybody a quick minute to go get your Kleenex boxes because you'll probably need it because this is beautiful beyond anything.
A crown of thorns placed on his head. He knew that he would soon be dead. He said, did you forget me, Father? Did you? We nailed him to a wooden cross, soon all the world
I'll just stop that there. When I watched that, the Harkles should be under the jail, you guys. Not in it, under it. 6 feet, 18 feet, all the way to hell. All the way to hell. I don't care what anybody says. Nobody should have treated a 96-year-old woman who devoted her entire life to the monarchy. Yes, she did. No matter what anybody says, she did. And look what they did. Wow. So I just kind of wanted to bring us back to why we are still here. Why are we still here? For me, it's about getting some wrongs righted for Queen Elizabeth. For all of us, we deserve that. So I think it's always good to go back and remember, what started all of this, right? What started all of this? And I think next time I'll do a more recent, I'll do a recent article, because I do have one that talks about William and when he's king and what he plans to do. And I just pray they're right. They've been right so far. So I'm just praying. Anyway, this is a bit emotional for me. I always get emotional when I watch the Queen, and I already know some of y'all will too. No, this wasn't a deep dive. Wasn't anything like that. It was just a reminder. Just a reminder. So after that, we definitely need some funny. So I'm going to play a shorter commercial, and then, which we obviously know isn't a commercial, but that's just what I call them. And then I'll put Sam on, because we love Sam, and I haven't watched it yet, so I'm excited. And how I know to end it is I always just go to the end, just so you know. And I the last sentence, that's all I ever know, is the first couple words in the last sentence, and that's it. And the rest, because I want to have a genuine laugh with y'all, my friends. But the next one will be a bigger one, because I'll have to cover stuff. And I've got some stories about the past too, but some crazy stuff. And like I usually do. And there's also a laughter break with this one. So, all right, let's get to the funny, because we need it. Thank you so much. Please press like and subscribe. I always forget to ask. And if you love Queen Elizabeth, give me a like for her. Okay, guys, I will talk to you in the next one. Bye. That's them, guys, not me. So cute.
Okay, I'm going to try and go. I think it's going to get
out in front of this, Harry, okay? She's trying to do you some serious damage here, which is fine by me, but it's going to affect our businesses and therefore my money, okay? Which is not going to happen, not acceptable, right? Yeah, all right. Just get the camera going and I'll wing it. Oh, don't be so stupid, Harry. That requires mental dexterity and a grasp of English way beyond yours. Stick to the script, right? Okay. So, are we ready? Yeah. Okay. Start recording. Yeah. Okay. Start recording. The allegations of bullying that have been leveled against me are absolutely baseless. And for Christ's sake, will you hold that board up? Hold it up so I can see it. Hold it up. These accusations have been brought about by Sophie Chanduka, who's the chair of the charity Centre Centable, of which I am co-founder, and through which I believed I was continuing the legacy of my late mother. And oh, I tell you what, she really is a cheeky parasite, isn't she? She's only doing this for money, fame, and to raise her profile. Okay, just get on with recording the message. I mean, she called me a misogynoir. I mean, misogynoir, I mean, what a load of nonsense. First of all, it's a made-up word. Hold on, Harry. As a black female woman of color, I can confirm categorically that misogynoir certainly exists. I married a black female woman of color. So how can I be misogynoir? Yeah, but that's not quite how it works, Harry. I mean, you could just be playing into your white savior complex. I mean, we'll get onto this another day, okay? Do I look like I could save anyone? Just read the script, Harry, so we can post this, all right? Okay, and by the way, is anyone doing any research right now on Sophie? See if we got any dirt to dig up. Yeah? Who? Yeah, who? Okay, well, tell Fiona if she can't find anything real, and make something up. Okay? Make something up to destroy her reputation and expose her for the liar that she is. Yeah, and tell her if she doesn't come back with anything, then don't bother coming back. Because she's gone. Gone. Benito. Yeah, that's right. Now you tell her we'll be sending Nicola to do research on Fiona to see if we got anything we can find about her past to hopefully ruin her reputation. Okay? Okay.
This is probably so true.
Yeah, well, the circle of life. Just like that song was written by Elton John. Rocket Man. Okay, start in 3,
Rocket
2. So, not wanting to disrupt the important and vital work performed by the charity, I've decided to step down just to appease that little snake in the grass, that vicious little viper who's been spreading lies about me. And will you hold the board up? Don't look around. He's talking to you. You useless, talentless minnow. You're nothing. You're less than nothing. If I trod in a pile of you, I wouldn't even bother wiping my shoe on the grass. And I wasn't bullying anyone. All I did was tell Sophie to stick out a message in support of my Meghan amidst the media barrage she was experiencing. Which is the least she can do. And then she got the nerve to suggest that I was trying to make her and the charity part of, Brand Sussex's PR team. Yeah, which is terrible PR in itself. So after this video, it's time to cripple her both personally and professionally. Maybe even physically. Right, we can always dream, darling, but we've got to get this message done. So you, Juggies, hold up the message and hold it still, okay? Hold that board up. Because if you can't hold it up properly, I'm going to replace you with the ugly guy with the dodgy eye and the stutter, okay? You can't have people spreading lies about us bullying the staff. Now, come on, Juggies.
When you see her, they call like a lion, snatch you into her Montecito dungeon. Meghanmarkle, the crazy heart goes, and there